What is up, guys? It is Tony here, and today we are doing a unboxing slash upgrade video for my Mac Pro. Today we have a lot of parts in front of me because, as you guys know, about 2 weeks ago I did an unboxing of the Mac Pro I got for $800. This is a Mac Pro that really at the end of the day has the great CPU power that everyone knows the Mac Pro for, has the great opportunity to expand and upgrade. But unfortunately, it came with really low amounts of RAM, it came with a really bad graphics card, and not much hard drive storage. So I decided to go out onto Amazon, onto Otherworld Computing, and find some parts for the system to really make it shine, to really make it worth my money, and to help me make better videos for my YouTube channel. So today we're going to do a quick unboxing, and we're also going to install all of these parts into my Mac Pro, which is sitting off camera. And we're going to do a benchmark of the before and after, and it's going to be a really cool video I think you guys will enjoy watching. So as you can see, here are the parts. Let's go ahead and go through them and show you what we're going to be installing today. So first off, for the RAM, you can see that we have some 32 gigabyte set of 1066 memory Otherworld Computing RAM. It's basically RAM that's made perfectly for the Mac Pro. It has some nice heat sinks on it, and it's an 8x4 gig set, allowing me to give each CPU 16 gigabytes of RAM. For the hard drive storage, we went something a little bit more expensive and a little bit crazy, actually. Something that I've never gotten to experience before in my life, and it is a 1 terabyte SSD setup. The reason why I decided to go with a 1 terabyte SSD setup is because I wanted to be able to put all of my project files on the SSD operating system drive to allow myself to get much better beneficial read-writes on my my videos when I'm exporting, when I'm rendering, when I'm importing. I want to be able to quickly do what I need to do, and a dual 500 gigabyte SSD RAID 0 array is going to give me upwards of 1,000 megabytes read-write speeds per second. We'll actually check to see actually what it is physically. These are the new Evo drives from Samsung, so it's a little bit of an unknown. There's not a lot of videos of people using these yet. I also have the Seagate Barracuda drives. I got two 2 terabyte Seagate Barracudas, giving me 4 terabytes of storage for all of my finished projects, for all of my raw data. I'm going to RAID 0 these, and it's probably going to give me something like 250 up, 250 down, or read-write, whatever you want to call it. I say up and down because read-write's annoying to say, even though it's not physically or scientifically accurate. But anyway, yeah, so 2 terabytes, 64 megs of cache, just 7,200 RPM, fast drives as far as hard drives go, and they'll do the job, and I think that this is a good addition. And last but certainly not least, we have the Sapphire 7950, Sapphire HD 7950 graphics card. This is basically the highest end graphics card that works with the system I have, that I don't need to like screw around with firmwares and basically cheat my way into getting a 7990 to work. The 7950, it works great. It's a very fast card that actually has 3 gigabytes of VRAM, so it's going to allow me to do a little bit of gaming, which I'm not going to game on this really because it's a Mac for one, and for two, this system is purely for editing purposes, but regardless, it is good for workstation graphics production. It is also good because a lot of the apps I use graphics acceleration, and this card is pretty much optimized for it 110%. It actually says that on the back, if you guys can read that. But anyway, that's pretty much it. That is the parts that we're going to be using, so let's go ahead and open them up, get the Mac Pro on the table, and we'll go ahead and stick them in the computer and see how they run. Alright, so we're here with the Mac Pro, and we are ready to do some benchmarking. Before we get to that, let's go ahead and look at the specs of the system. So we're going to go ahead and run a Intel 32-bit benchmark. I know that it's not the 64-bit version, but it really doesn't matter because we're going to be testing both of them at the 32-bit level anyway. It's not like we have one at 64-bit and one at 32-bit. So let's go ahead and run it. And here goes. So there's the finished Geekbench. You can see we scored 12,423 in the multi-core score. And this number doesn't really matter as much because, of course, this processor's main niche is how many cores it has and how many threads it has. So we're going to go ahead and run this benchmark once the build is over. I'd like to note really quickly it took 3 minutes to run the benchmark. We'll also see if that went down at all. So let's go ahead, without further ado, and upgrade this Mac Pro.